Daniel Cole moved swiftly through the heart of Victoria Island, Lagos. Sweat clung to his skin as the relentless sun baked the city below. His charcoal Armani suit felt like an oven, sticking to his back with every step. His driver had gotten stuck somewhere between Ikoyi and Obalende, and now Nigeria's youngest billionaire was forced to walk like an ordinary man. Pedestrians stared. A few whispered his name, but he ignored them. Every second mattered. His foreign investors were waiting at the Echo Pearl Hotel, and this deal would take his late father's oil empire global. There was no room for mistakes. Failure was unthinkable. Without warning, the door of a tiny roadside cafe burst open. A young woman dashed out, a steaming cup in hand. She didn't look up until it was too late. The hot coffee splashed across Daniel's suit, soaking his shirt and burning his chest. He froze, pain and fury colliding behind his eyes. The woman gasped in horror, her hands trembling. "Oh God, I'm so sorry, sir." Her voice cracked under fear. "Please, I didn't see you. I'm late for work." Daniel stared at her, rage boiling over. "Are you blind? Do you know what you've just done?" Passers-by began to gather. The girl her name tag read. Rose looked exhausted, her eyes dark with sleepless nights. Her faded uniform marked her as a hotel cleaner. "I'm sorry, sir. Please. I was rushing." Daniel cut her off, shouting, "You've ruined everything. This meeting could change lives, and you're careless." Humiliated, Rose backed away, tears in her eyes. Daniel stormed off, his mind racing with anger. He didn't look back, but behind him, Rose wiped her face and kept walking. She had no idea this accident would rewrite both their destinies. Daniel stared at his stained shirt in the mirror of the hotel's restroom. The meeting was a disaster. The investors' eyes had shifted, their tone polite but distant. The spilled coffee had cost him more than pride, it had tainted perception. How could a billionaire, poised and calculated, arrive late, coffee-stained and distracted? Months of planning, shattered in minutes. And all because of her, a cleaner. A girl with tired eyes and trembling hands. He clenched his jaw. His world had always obeyed him. Until now. Back in the hotel, Rose scrubbed the 18th floor hallway with trembling hands. She hadn't been fired yet, but the looks from her manager told her it was only a matter of time. Her little sister Anna lay sick at home. Medicine was expensive, rent was due, sleep had become a luxury. She wasn't clumsy by nature, just exhausted. Life demanded too much, but still, she worked, hoping no more accidents would come her way. Later that night, Daniel finally returned to his presidential suite. The city buzzed below, but he was exhausted. He stepped inside, closed the door, and flicked on the lights. That's when he saw her. Curled in the center of his massive bed, her cleaning supplies clutched in her arms. Asleep, the same girl, Rose. His anger flared like fire. "Hey!" he barked. She jumped up, disoriented, panic flooding her eyes. I fainted, sir. I didn't mean please. I was just so tired." Her voice shook. Daniel didn't care. He called security immediately. Within minutes, she stood shamefully beside the hotel manager as Daniel demanded her removal. "Let her go," he eventually muttered, frustrated. But even as she was escorted out, her eyes haunted him. Why couldn't he shake her face? That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. The suite was quiet, but his thoughts raced. He poured a drink, looked out at the Lagos skyline, and replayed the incident. He should have forgotten her already. She was a cleaner, nameless, unimportant, but something about her eyes, the weariness in them, struck a nerve he didn't know he had. For years, he'd been surrounded by luxury, power, and polished deceit. But this girl, she was raw, honest, unfiltered. And that disturbed him more than he wanted to admit. By morning, he had made a strange decision. Instead of checking out, Daniel extended his stay indefinitely. He told himself it was to win back investor trust, to fix the mess. But somewhere beneath that logic, another reason stirred. He placed a peculiar breakfast order with the front desk. "Have the cleaner named Rose deliver it." Confused, the receptionist paused. "Yes, sir," he repeated. "Only her." Click. Rose's supervisor called her. "Mr. Cole wants you again. Room 2302. Rose went cold. "Why?" "Just go," the woman replied. Dread rising in her chest, Rose knocked gently. Daniel opened the door, looking calm, controlled. "You're early," he said. "Didn't want to be late again," she whispered. He said nothing more. She set the tray down, keeping her eyes on the floor. As she turned to leave, he said quietly, "Your hands shake when you're nervous." She froze. "I'm sorry, sir." He didn't reply, just nodded. She left. Later, she found a tip envelope. Inside, N5000, more than she earned in 2 days. What was he playing at? The pattern continued. Lunch, dinner. Each time the same request. Only Rose. Staff whispered in corridors. Is he setting her up? Is he mocking her? Rose avoided their eyes. She needed the money, but each visit chipped away at her pride. She didn't know what Daniel wanted. He never touched her, never flirted, just watched her, asked small questions, not about her job, but about her life. One day he asked, "Do you always work this hard?" She hesitated. "I don't have a choice." Daniel listened more than he spoke, and when she mentioned her sister, his expression shifted. Just a flicker, but it was there. That night in the laundry room, Rose found an envelope tucked beneath her folded cloths. No hotel logo, just a note. "Meet me after your shift. Garden entrance. Don't worry, you're not in trouble." D. Her heart pounded. She didn't respond, but she didn't throw it away either. At midnight, she stood near the back garden, hidden in shadows. He was already there by the palm tree, watching his watch. "I didn't think you'd come," he said. "I almost didn't," she whispered. "Rose," he said softly, "I want to see your world. Just drop you off tomorrow. That's all." Her breath caught. "Why?" "Because I don't know anyone like you." She hesitated, then whispered, "Only if no one finds out." "Deal," he said. The next day, he stood beside his black SUV. No guards. She wore her faded sandals and old sweater. "This is my real life," she said. "That's what I want to see," he replied. And as they drove through the dusty streets of Mushin, Lagos began to change in Daniel's eyes. They turned into a narrow street where children played barefoot beside puddles and generators hummed like restless bees. Rose walked ahead, her shoulders squared, shame hidden behind quiet resolve. "You don't have to come further," she said. "I want to." Daniel followed her past rusted gates and clotheslines to a small room tucked between concrete walls. This is it. Inside, her sister Anna lay on a thin mattress. She was no more than 7, her cough echoing through the room. Daniel said little, but something inside him shifted. In his world, illness meant doctors on call and private jets. Here, it meant scraped coins and sleepless nights. Rose handed Anna a cup of water, brushed her hair gently. Daniel watched her, feeling something he didn't recognize, guilt maybe, or awe. That night, back at the hotel, Daniel stood by the window, the necklace he'd bought for Rose still hidden in his drawer. He called his assistant. "Send medicine," quietly. The next morning, Rose found a pharmacy bag in her locker. No note, no name, just antibiotics. It continued groceries, prepaid clinic bills, even new sandals. But Daniel never said a word, not even when they crossed paths, just a quiet nod. Meanwhile, Daniel's investors returned, impressed by his grit. His business had survived. But something had changed. For once, money wasn't what he thought about. It was her. It was a quiet Thursday morning when Rose knocked on Daniel's suite. He opened the door, unusually tense. "Can you stay for a moment?" he asked. Rose hesitated. "I'm on shift. I'll speak to your supervisor." She stepped inside cautiously. Daniel didn't sit. He paced. His voice was low, serious. "I don't play games, Rose. I need to tell you something." Her fingers clenched. "All right." He faced her, eyes unguarded. "I like you." Silence. Rose blinked. "You like me?" "Not as a cleaner, as a person, as a woman." Her breath caught. Her life had been filled with obligations, not affection. She had no time for love. Not from a man like him. Still, something fluttered in her chest. "You're a billionaire," she said. "And you're the only person I think about at night," Daniel replied, voice soft. "I'm not asking you to be anything you're not. I just want to know you." She looked down. "If we do this, I won't quit my job." "Why?" "Because I won't depend on anyone." He paused, then nodded. "I respect that." A slow, honest smile touched her lips. "No one's ever said that to me." They began meeting quietly. Late nights, garden benches, silent smiles. No touching, just presence. Her sister began recovering. Her laughter returned. And Daniel? He began to hope. One day beneath a pillow, Rose found a silver necklace. A note. "Because you deserve something that shines too. D." She clutched it, eyes stinging. Outside the room, the world whispered, but inside something rare was blooming. Daniel extended his stay at the hotel. 3 weeks passed, people noticed. Whispers turned into murmurs. But none dared ask questions. That is, until she returned. The private jet touched down at Murtala Muhammad Airport. From its doors stepped Margaret Cole Daniel's mother. Imposing, elegant, ruthless, the queen of legacy and control. She didn't need an announcement. Her heels declared war as they struck the hotel's marble floor. She stormed into Daniel's suite without knocking. "Mother," he said, surprised, "I hope you're not losing focus." "Over a maid." Her words were sugar-laced poison. Daniel stiffened. Margaret had built her empire through power, perfection, and the silent erasure of anything unsightly. Her son was meant to follow the script. Legacy first, emotion last. The next morning, Rose received a note. Not from Daniel, from Margaret. "You are cordially invited for tea. Suite 1102, 4 p.m. sharp." Rose's heart dropped. She didn't tell Daniel. She just ironed her cleanest dress, pulled her hair into a tight bun, and prayed for calm. At 4 p.m., she knocked. Margaret opened the door herself. Ivory silk, diamond earrings, a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Welcome, Rose. Please sit." The table was set fine china, finger cakes, soft music, and sharp intent. The tea was hot, the conversation hotter beneath the surface. "You've worked here long?" Margaret asked. "Almost 2 years. And you met my son by accident?" "Yes, ma'am." Margaret nodded slowly. "You seem sweet, quiet." "That's good." Rose smiled, unsure. "I hear your sister is unwell?" "She's better now, thanks to help I didn't ask for." Margaret's eyes narrowed. "People like you don't belong in certain worlds, Rose." Rose's hands trembled. She set down her cup. "I never claimed to." Margaret's voice dropped. "Don't mistake a rich man's kindness for love. This world isn't meant for cleaners." Silence. Thick. Sharp. Rose stood slowly. "I clean floors with dignity, ma'am, but I will never let anyone tell me I don't belong somewhere." She bowed. "Thank you for the tea," and walked out. No tears, no breakdown. Just quiet fire in her chest. She knew what she had to do. That night, she turned in her badge, left her uniform folded neatly on the locker bench. She took Anna's hand, packed a single bag, and vanished into Lagos. No note, no goodbye, only silence. Waned. Morning came. Daniel waited for her knock. He'd even ironed his shirt, the one she once said made him look less like a statue. But it never came. By 10 a.m., he called the kitchen. "Where's Rose?" Silence then. "She quit last night, sir. Took her sister. Left no forwarding address." The phone slipped from his fingers. He ran downstairs. Laundry, housekeeping. No one had answers. She was gone. That night, his mother called. "I hope you've come back to your senses." He didn't respond. "Some women are seasonal, Daniel. Let her go." He clenched his jaw. "Did you talk to her?" "I gave her perspective," Margaret said. "You destroyed her," he snapped. "She needed reminding of where she belongs. Then I want no part of your world." He hung up. The suite was too quiet. Her scent was gone, but her presence wasn't. He opened his drawer. pulled out the necklace he meant to give her the night she disappeared. It still shimmered, but felt empty now. The city pulsed outside, but he felt nothing. No wind, no empire, just absence. Daniel Cole, billionaire of oil and steel, stood in a penthouse undone by a girl who cleaned floors. Daniel returned to his mansion, but it wasn't home. It echoed with everything Rose wasn't. He searched, online, in person, neighborhoods, hospitals, markets. Nothing. She had vanished like morning mist. Every boardroom felt like a burden now. Every investor pitched like a lie. One evening, his assistant entered quietly. "Sir, the Nairobi contract." "Forget it," Daniel said. "I'm going to find her." And so he left it all behind. The suits, the jets, the empire. He walked the streets she once led him through, asked strangers, carried photos, until one rainy evening, somewhere outside Ibadan, he heard a cough, a child's cough, familiar. He turned, and standing at the edge of a dusty pharmacy, holding a small umbrella and a loaf of bread, was Rose. She didn't run, she didn't speak. She just looked at him, surprised, guarded. He stepped forward slowly, soaked by the rain. "I didn't come to take you back," he said. "I came to find out if you ever wanted me to." She stared at him, her eyes filling. "I didn't want to leave. I just couldn't stay where I wasn't safe." Daniel nodded. "Then let me earn my place this time." She didn't reply, but she took a step closer. And for the first time in months, Daniel smiled. Real, raw, and human. Love wasn't in the grand gestures. It was in the rain, in the silence, in the second chances that people gave themselves even after they'd been burned. The end, or maybe just the beginning. What's your take on this story? Was Daniel's transformation believable? Did Rose make the right choice by walking away when she did? And what about Margaret? Was she protecting her son or destroying his chance at real happiness? We want to hear from you. What moment hit you the hardest? Did you relate more to Daniel or Rose? Should there be a part 2, and what would you want to see happen next? Drop your thoughts, theories, or favorite quotes in the comments. Let's talk about love, power, pride, and the kind of strength it takes to walk away from something, even when your heart stays behind.